Hey, Jim, wherever you are, I hope you listen to Gold Fever Radio.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
I'm listening to Gold Fever Radio.
We need some help from you now.
Now, I know these tired old eyes ain't seeing two able-bodied young men just lollygagging.
Can you, shut up?
Yeah, we're trying to listen to Gold Fever Radio.
Say, what?
He said, shut up, dumbass. We're listening to the Gold Fever Radio.
Load up a truck, it's time to roll. With hearts so wild and a common goal. Chasing the goal, we're ready for the thrill. Through mountains and rivers, we'll climb every hill. With the sun on our backs, we take our stand. Uncovering treasures buried in this land. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams never alone.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome, Gold Fever Radio. Once again, it is Wednesday. Let me just grab old Lisa right here. There's old Lisa right there.
There you are.
There you are. You went back to your horizontal mode, huh?
Oh, wait, let me see what happens now. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, now you're full screen there.
Well, why, how come I'm not in the middle?
Well, because you got to move your camera over a little bit.
Well, if I move that, I don't understand what's going on here. That's better. Okay. Good enough.
Hello, Paul. Oh, I got to turn down this volume. Man, you're awful loud here. I forgot to turn that down because it was up loud earlier so you could hear this. Paul, hello, Paul, Julie, Ann, Barry, Billy Z, Mark Nye, Hillbilly Bob, Craig Carter, Cheddar. Hello, everybody. Welcome. What's been happening, Lisa?
What's been happening? It was miserable raining today.
Raining?
Raining. Yeah, it's still pouring here. Yeah. Raining.
You don't believe this here. It's been
What?
It's been sunshine in here.
Oh, not here. Raining here.
It says it's I don't know what the temp says. I can't see the temperature. So I went out this morning and I found me some gold.
Did you?
I found 3 little nuggets.
Good for you.
And it kind of got hot, so I decided to get out of there. I keep wanting to take my rototiller up so I can till some ground. And but anyway, cheers, everybody. I went up there early this morning, hunted for probably a couple hours, and found 3 little noogies, just little ones, nothing major, but they're still there. And so the funny thing is, they were right there in the same area where a lot of people, have been digging at, but they just miss them. When does the MineLab 2000 come out, and how much, Mr. MineLab? That's a very good question. And I'm glad you asked that question because that's a question I'd like to know myself. I heard that. What are you doing? Come on, dogs. My dog's licking me. They hear me talk like that, and then they think I'm talking to them. I heard something about September that it may be out, and it's probably going to cost like $3,000 or something. Well, since it's 2000, it's got to cost between $2,000 and $3,000 would be my guess. Probably be something like $2,600 or because they're kind of all overpriced anyways. But we'll see. You dropped them nuggets? Well, hey, I appreciate that. You buried them really good too, and hit them in the ground so I couldn't see them. I think that 7,000, since you got the 7,000, Craig, I don't think the 7,000 picks them smaller targets up because they're with that 7,000, that bigger coral, that's made to go deep, and sometimes you don't really hear those surface targets as good. And I think I'm using the 6,000, mine left 6,000, and I think what happens is a lot of people, they're swinging too fast, and these nuggets. Let me see if where are all my nuggets at, anyways? I'm going to show you an example of what I'm kind of talking about here. So, like, I don't think you can see this too good, but it's oops. Anyways, they're not solid. Like a BB would be solid. And so that BB being solid, you're going to pick that up more compared to the gold that's just kind of all, in like, it's not solid piece. It's more like it's rougher. It hasn't traveled far. It's more crystalline type stuff. So it's not as dense, I guess is the word. And so the signal is not going to be as strong. And it's just a very faint signal. So even with the 6,000, if you're going too fast, you'll just swing right over. You won't even pick it up. So you got to go like super, super slow, and you barely can hear that target. And then as you start to scrape the ground down, it'll come in louder and louder. Josh Cooper, hello. So what's on the agenda, Lise?
What's on the agenda? Well, today, what'd you have for dinner tonight?
I had one of them blueberry pancakes on a stick.
Oh, you should have had either a hamburger or a brisket today, because it is both National Hamburger Day and National Brisket Day.
Now, brisket, that sounds good. I like a good brisket.
Yeah.
I could have a hamburger later. I could do that. What I did do, I did pull out a bowl and some cereal. I was going to have a cereal later.
Oh, well, when Penny was little, she used to call brisket biffnick. So Gramps, whenever he was making it, he'd say, "Penny, I'm making you biffnick." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, brisket's pretty good stuff. I like that. Like that, you buy that in the tubs,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's really kind of pricey.
Uh-huh.
And then you make sandwiches out of that with some, barbecue sauce. I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that sounds really good. I wished I had
That's
some.
not my favorite. I don't like that shredded anything.
But it's not shredded.
It is.
Huh?
It is too.
No, it's not.
Like that it is. Yeah, I don't like
No,
it.
I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about they're in long strips.
Oh.
That stuff.
Okay. As long as it's long strips, I'm not into the shreddedness.
Mike Bush, hello. I had bacon cheeseburger patties for dinner. Hey, all right.
Good for you on National Hamburger Day.
And Rocky Mountain. Hello, Brad. Yes.
So, famous birthdays today. Jim Thorpe, you know who that was?
Was he a golfer?
He was an athlete, famous athlete.
Where was he?
He was an Indian. He won the decathlon.
What was he? Oh, okay.
Ian Fleming, you know who that is?
He was a book writer.
What book did he write?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
He wrote James Bond.
Oh, okay.
Here's one you'll know. Jerry West.
He was a gambler in the. Oh no, he was a basketball player.
Jeez, yeah, okay. Now those people, they're all gone. But the live people's birthdays, Gladys Knight.
And the Pimps.
That's Pips, not Pimps. There's a big difference. Rudy Giuliani.
That was the mayor.
Mm-hmm. John Fogerty.
Oh, that's my favorite. CCR,
I know it is.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah. Marco Rubio.
Oh, that's the Homeland Security guy or whatever he is.
No, he's the Secretary of State now.
Okay, well, Secretary of State. I knew he was.
And Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
That's some. That was married to the other guy from Knight Rider.
No, Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Not the guy. What was the guy from Knight Rider? What was his name?
That was David Hasselhoff.
Oh, close enough.
Very, very close. Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She was on Survivor, and then she was on The View, and she was the
Right,
only
that's
one
what I
on The
remember her
View.
on The View. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Mega Silver Slacker. Hello. Any idea what the new 2000 has that the 1000 or others don't? Any spec? I've heard a couple different things behind it. One thing I heard it was going to kind of be a combination PI and VLF machine. I don't know how they could do that really. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting though to see what that is. And supposedly Fisher's still working out their bugs to come out with their PIs. We'll find that out at the treasure hunting in Utah this year. Buck Rackley, hello. Fastest Indian. My hamburger was in the shape of a T-bone. All right.
Well, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Okay. So this day in history, lots of interesting stuff happened on this day, May 28th. In 1431, which is a very long time ago, Joan of Arc is accused of relapsing into heresy, wearing men's clothing, and so that provided justification for her execution. She committed heresy because she wore men's clothing. And this is funny. In 1923, the U.S. Attorney General said it was legal for women to wear trousers anywhere.
Where? What year?
1923.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Yeah.
What did they wear before that? Skirts?
Dresses and skirts. Yeah.
Dresses? Oh.
Yeah. In 1928, Dodge and Chrysler merged. In 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opened to vehicular traffic. And in 1996 was the Whitewater scandal. Do you remember what the Whitewater scandal was?
That wasn't Richard Nixon, was it?
No, that was Bill Clinton.
Oh, Bill Clinton was the Whitewater?
Mm-hmm.
Why did they call it Whitewater for?
I don't know, but they called it the Whitewater scandal. It was Clinton's his former business partners, the McDougalls.
Oh, that's right.
And Governor Tucker of Arkansas. They were convicted of fraud.
And they committed suicide. Those were the attorneys or something?
They were, former business partner. I know nothing about any suicide or murders or anything like that.
I think
I'm only reporting on the Whitewater scandal that occurred on this day in 1996. So
I think that
you don't say anything about anything. Anything.
I don't say anything
Say
about
nothing
anything.
about anything. I don't want anybody knocking on the door. Say nothing about nothing.
Nothing about nothing?
Nothing about nothing. No, go back to talking about metal detectors.
Okay. Metal detecting. Hello, metal detecting. Let's see. I'm going to see something. I want to see if I can find something here.
Okay. What are you finding?
I'm
I
trying
hope
to
you're
find.
not finding anything that's going to embarrass me.
No, I would never embarrass you.
Yeah, okay.
I would never embarrass you.
Certainly not.
I want to find. Let's see here. Let's see what I can find here on my doodad here. Let's see. I don't know which one it is, so I'm looking here. I am looking. I'm adding. I'm looking. You know, I've got all types of stuff here on my. Let's see. Okay, let's try one of these here. I've got like this here.
All right, everyone, gather around. It's time for Gold Fever Radio. Oh, shut up, Hillary. Why don't you try to go ring up in a lecture or something and let me listen here. And on your way out, pass one of those cigars. I love those cigars. I really do. I really do. Let's see now. Where did I put those big cigars? Hey, Hillary, where are those cigars at? Well, she's looking. Let's kick back and listen to Gold Fever Radio. Yeah.
Huh?
Speaking of Bill Clinton.
Well, that's why I had to
Uh,
play that since you were talking to Bill Clinton. That's what I
uh-huh.
thought the Whitewater was the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
No, no, that was the
Do
Monica
you
Lewinsky.
remember one year for Halloween we dressed up as Bill and Monica?
I do. I do indeed.
I made my hair all gray
You
and put a
did.
suit on, and I had a big ass cigar sticking out of my pocket,
You did.
and you had a beret and a
And a
blue
blue
dress on,
dress
and
and knee pads.
you had this big stain up here.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
And
And knee
knee pads.
pads. Don't forget the knee
Yeah, and
pads.
knee pads. Yeah, we were the hit of the party on that.
We were. We were too.
Well, speaking of all that, I found some stuff about you.
About me. I told you, don't embarrass me.
Let's see what some of this stuff says. Let's
Oh,
see.
Silver.
great.
The 1870s were silver years in the mining history of the American West. After the fabulous Comstock silver strike in western Nevada, silver replaced gold in the hearts of miners and prospectors in the West. 1873 was a big year at the Comstock mines as massive new silver lodes were discovered. These fabulous silver discoveries sent excitement to all parts of the West as prospectors poured over the mountains in search of the white metal. Silver was king in Colorado during the 1870s. It was during those years that the carbonate craze swept the state. Prospectors scouted the mountains in search of silver-bearing ore. Prospectors looked for limestones that were associated with igneous rocks. Colorado was well endowed with silver deposits. In 1878, one of the greatest silver camps was born. It had a 10-foot bed of silver-bearing lead carbonate. Leadville leaped to prominence. In the San Juan Mountains of southern Colorado, a similar ore body near Rico was worked during the 1870s. The white metal was also king in Arizona in the 1870s. Around the turn of the century, gold once again replaced silver as numerous rich strikes were made all over the West. 1891 was the year of the Great Cripple Creek Gold Rush. Cripple Creek was the last of Colorado's great gold camps. In 1895, the fabulous lode deposits of Randsburg were discovered in the Mojave Desert of Southern California. The Randsburg mines produced nearly 1 million ounces of gold during their lifetime.
Huh. Fascinating.
Up on Cripple Creek. That's what I'm thinking.
So I found all types of stuff here with about you doing stuff.
Me doing stuff?
Yeah,
I
about
don't
all of
do
this.
stuff.
Huh?
I don't do stuff.
Well, you talking about all this stuff. Oh, remember back in the old days, when we first started out podcasting this here, it's been like what, 8 years, I think now?
Oh, it's a long time. It's a really long time. I lost count.
8 years, and we've never missed a Wednesday.
No.
Never
No.
have. Every one was live. Every single one. We never retaped. We never did. Every single Wednesday. But in the beginning, we would interview people on tape, and then we would be live. But we wasn't live on YouTube. We were just podcast, so you didn't see anything. And then we would just play the interviews and that.
So we could be in our pajamas.
We could be. Stephen Blevins, hello. Jack, what do you think is the best dry washer? Now that is a very, very good question there. There's a lot of thoughts to that there. Let's see here. Everyone around the Clintons' diapers disappears. Yes. Vince Foster was shot 14 times. Clearly a case of suicide. Yes. And one of them in the back of his head. Daryl Lane, hello. Jerry Prince, hello. Well, so dry washers, like let's say the big one, the biggest one is kind of like probably the Keen 151. That's a lot of people like that big dry washer. That's a nice dry washer because you can shovel into the other side of the bank and hit it. The problem with that is I don't think the blower is powerful enough to really move the material. So once you get a lot of heavies on that box, it just doesn't seem to really move it on down the line. So as far as a leaf blower type machine, the 140, Keen 140, I think was probably one of the best dry washers out there. The 140, that uses a leaf blower. The Puffer which a lot of people are starting to go to a puffer style because puffers don't. I got a text or a messenger. Puffers don't they're not leaf blowers, and probably for a puffer, I think the Thompsons was probably one of the best ones. They don't use or Thompsons went out of business, and then Bill from Mad Mining bought Thompsons and then revamped them and kind of really took them in a totally different direction. So I think the Thompson was an excellent dry washer for a puffer, and the 140 is probably the best one for a leaf blower style. But if I go out, I probably take the Thompson just because it just uses the 12-volt battery, and I don't like to use gas and oil and all that type of stuff there. Right now, a puffer is great. Fire danger in Arizona. That's right. So a lot of times you can't use the your leaf blowers because of the fire dangers and that. So 151S is best for me. See, I don't like the S's because the S's use that bumpers, and then they use the extra cloth down below. I don't care for all of that type of stuff. PA Patriot Prospecting. Hello. So anyway, so that's what's happening. So then I went out and detected, found 3 little pieces of gold, and I probably dug 20 pieces of trash. And as long as I'm finding all of that trash, that tells me there can be still gold left there. If you're finding trash, that means it's not hunted out. If you don't find no trash, how come your head is so much bigger than mine? How come I don't have a big head like you got? Do I got to just get like really close? Oh, like this, what I got to do?
I'm smarter than you. That's why.
No, I just got to stand up on my chair like this and get really close to the.
I'm not standing up. I'm sitting on the couch.
Which camera am I using? I'm using the one on here. Okay, I have 2 cameras. Huh. Let's see, Paul. Jack, don't you like the Keen Puffer? The Keen Puffer is an okay puffer, but it's really bulky. It's bulky and cumbersome, and it's hard to move around, and you can't break it down. It's a pain in the butt to do all of that. So portability plays a factor in everything. Easy setup, easy tear down, portability, all of that. So anyways, then on the way back from detecting, I stopped at this place that I've stopped at before, and there's some mines up on the hill, and I always wondered why these mines are up on this hill for. But so everything drains down into the washes and that. So I got like 3 buckets of dirt out, and then I marked it on with the GPS. I marked it. Then when I got back here, I looked it up. Well, it's claimed up with load claims. They've been claimed since 2011, I think, by some big mining company. So it's under claim, which is, I mean, some of these big companies they'll never do anything with, the claims. They just claim everything up for investment purposes or whatever. Mark Nye, Lisa, you got your bags packed yet?
Was that a question to me?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they are.
Your bags are all packed? When does your journey start?
Tomorrow.
Oh, your journey starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh. I liked it when I was like clear up here like this. I like that. I got to figure out how to get me closer. I got to put some phone books on my chair so I can stand up.
Maybe that's what you got to do. Well, see, I don't know what happened to my computer. The screen's all black. I don't know what happened. It's a brand new computer, so I don't know what happened there.
I guess I could see my computer sits up on the shelf. I could drop it down, but if I drop it down, then I lose my workstation.
Well, right now all I see is the top of your hat.
I know. Well, I could be like this here, where you just see my.
Well, I like that. Oh, so like you're Wilson.
Yeah. I like it like this here. I'll work on that for next week.
Well, it'll probably be better if I wasn't in the picture. Then you could be big all by yourself.
No, because that doesn't matter.
Okay, whatever.
No, I mean still be the same thing. It'll just be a bigger picture, but it'll still be the same picture. I got a case. I could put the case on my chair to try to boost me up. I need to bring
Try raising the chair.
Huh?
Doesn't the chair have a thing that you can push up and down?
I think it's raised as high as it will go.
Hmm.
See, now if I go, let me switch cameras over here. Let's see here. I can go like this here. Camera. I can switch my camera. See, like that camera? Do you like that camera better?
Now you're very light.
I know that camera's lighter. See, and then I can lower this down like that there. How's that?
Lovely.
Is that better?
Lovely. Just lovely.
Yeah? Okay.
Uh-huh.
The camera is lighter, huh? Okay, I'll use this camera then because it shows more of me where, when you do pictures, you got to remember the rule of thirds.
The rule of thirds. I know that rule of thirds. That's been ingrained in my brain, the rule of thirds.
Where did you learn the rule of thirds from?
You.
That was back in your video days when you
back in my video and photo days, yes.
When you used to do weddings and stuff.
Glad those days are gone.
The eyes got to be.
Very glad those days are gone. I hate it.
It's a tic-tac-toe, and you got to be in the frame.
Yeah, I didn't mind the DJing, but I hated the photo and the video because you can't fix that.
Very nice shirt. Thank you there, Stephen. Gary Jockham. Hello, Jack and Lisa. You guys argue about the silliest things.
We don't argue at all. That's not arguing. We're just conversing.
We have discussions.
We don't even have discussions. We just converse. We don't argue because he knows there's no point in arguing because I'm always right.
That's what somebody says. Ask Lisa. Just ask Lisa.
That's what they always said when we were in Stanton. Just ask Lisa.
Oh, you know what? That's something we can talk about. How did we all come involved with all of that stuff? Somebody asked, was it last week? They asked how we did that circuit and all of that, how we evolved.
How we evolved.
In the gold things.
Oh.
I remember, I don't remember how we got started. I guess it got started when, I'm going to write a book one of these days on my gold history and how it all happened and all of that. But I remember we got involved with gold and I started going out and all of that. And then we end up opening up a mining store in Wickenburg. And then from there, we started vending, going on some of these outings all over the country, vending.
To the GPAA outings, yes.
Yeah, selling mining equipment. And we were back in, where was we? Vane Mountain?
Vane Mountain, North Carolina.
North Carolina. And Sharina at the time was back there. And we
she
were
was
talking.
the LDMA administrator at the time.
That's who she was, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of just mentioned to her that we would, I don't know why we ever thought that, where that ever came from. That we wanted to be,
said it as a joke.
That we wanted to be caretakers. And she said there was an opening at Blue Bucket, which was in Oregon, and we didn't want to go to Oregon because we lived out in Gilbert at the time, I think. No, we lived in Wickenburg at that time, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we lived in Wickenburg, so we said we didn't want to go to Oregon, but if Stanton ever came open, we would love to do that. And she kind of like, really? Well, then we got interviewed for Stanton when it did come. I don't know if it came open or what happened.
A couple of months later, yeah.
We got interviewed, and I remember Blake was one of the ones that interviewed us at the time, Blake Harmon. Mm-hmm. He said to me, he said, Jack, Stanton has a big problem with clicks and stuff like that. Are you afraid to go in and break up clicks and stuff like that because they're getting away with everything and we need to get that back under control? I said, I don't have a problem at all doing that. So we ended up getting hired in that, and we went in there. we pissed a lot of people off. I remember
Oh,
that.
wait a minute. Before that happened, we talked with John Boudreau, who was then the caretaker at Bane Mountain.
Oh,
And
that's
John
right.
Boudreau told you,
John Boudreaux said, "How many friends do you got, Jack?" And I said, "I got a few friends." And he says, "Okay, I'll ask you that after you take the job." And then like a year later, he brought that back up again. He says, "Hey, Jack, how many friends you got?" I said, "Man, they're dropping like flies."
because the people who are friends that we used to go to the Stanton camp with when we were just campers, they were our good friends. We used to spend every weekend with them and whatever, even in the the summer months when the camp wasn't open, we did all of that. Once we became the caretakers and we had to tell them what they had to do and how they had to comply with the rules of the camp that the LDMA set down. No, I'm your friend. I don't have to listen. Yeah, well, you do.
Yeah,
And yeah, that was a major problem. It really was.
it was. So eventually we left caretaking and then started doing kind of the outings, I guess. I mean, they
That's what
started
we did.
having me, well, they had me running equipment back east, back and forth. I mean, taking stuff back there, and I started running the outings back there. And then I think somehow we both started doing that, running the outings, where we'd go to Duesenberg and
We went to all the camps, did all the outings.
yeah. So we started doing the outings, and then yeah, and then we got involved with doing the thing where we got set up, whatever. We don't have to go into all of that negative type stuff where crap happened with the dredge camp and all of that, where people lied and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and I, you know what? I got that his. Let me find that. Let me see where that's at. Huh?
Oh, I know
So
what
this,
you're talking about.
yeah, this one right here.
Here's some final things I'd like to say.
Okay.
First of all, thank you to you and Jack for all that you guys do, and especially putting on this radio show. It's really another vehicle to inform people out there what's going on, and I'm looking forward to seeing you more and more. And maybe you'll get that daily show soon enough. But thank you for all you guys do.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
He
thank
was
you,
such a snake, wasn't he?
Dominic. Oh yeah.
Jack and Lisa were caretakers of Stanton the first time I stayed there. All right. We
Was that
we
Gary?
really, huh?
Was that Gary?
No, it's Craig Carter.
Oh,
Let's see. Guy says, Jack, if a man is always wrong and a woman is always right, and a man says woman is right, is he wrong?
that's very deep.
Ooh, that is.
Very deep.
Uh, but so
I was. Where was I? I went to some place, and can't even remember where it was. But oh, I think it was when I went to go watch Adam play in Waretown, and so I asked somebody, "Where's the bathroom?" And he said, "Well, the bathroom is that way. The men's is on the left because the women is always right."
really,
Mm-hmm.
I thought you was going to say bathroom down the hall, or how's that saying go? There's a bathroom on. There's a bathroom on the right, or no? How's that go?
I don't know.
You
I
know
don't
the
know.
song "Bad Moon Arising"?
Well, that has nothing to do with a bathroom.
Yes, it does.
There's a bad moon on the rise, not there's a bathroom on the right.
No, what do people often think that song says?
Only you people.
No, people say that.
The song is there's a bad moon on the rise, not there's a bathroom on the right.
See?
There's a
Or-
bad moon on the rise. You gonna play it for me now?
yeah, no, I can't. Bathroom,
Oh,
the right. I thought that's what it was. Somebody else will know what it is. There's a bathroom on the right, another popular song. CCR, Bad Moon. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of what it sounds like. There's a bathroom on the
maybe
right.
what it sounds like, but there's a bad moon on the rise, not there's a bathroom on the right.
There's a bathroom on the right.
Yeah, okay.
And there's some other ones like that, like that. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take you. There's a bathroom on the right. Okay. Well, see, well, that's where that comes from. There's a bathroom on the right.
Huh.
What's the other one? Dude looks like a lady. No, what's the other one? Oh, do the funky lady. Dude looks like a lady. Do the funky lady. What's that one?
Yeah, dude looks like a lady.
So that's what they say. Do the funky lady then, or do the funky something.
Oh, I never heard that.
Well, stick with me long enough, and you're going to learn all types of stuff.
Oh, I guess so.
Let's see. If the guy believes he is right and the woman corrects him, is he smart enough to be quiet?
Never is the answer to that.
Steve Collier. Hello. So anyway, so Lisa's going to start her journey tomorrow, coming this way.
Yes?
So next week, I'll have a very special guest here with me.
Oh, really? Who's going to be there?
We'll find that out next week, won't we?
I'm anxious to see. Mystery guest. I love a mystery guest.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have old Danny here with me.
Danny can be there.
You know, and maybe I know how. Well, Danny likes it when I have my hand, you know where. You like it when I do that to you, don't you? Remember, I used to do that to you, and you'd talk. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Lisa.
Yeah. Oh, the things I put up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I'll run these buckets of dirt I got out today. I don't know when I'm going to run them. Hopefully, maybe I can run them tomorrow, because I don't think anything's happening tomorrow. I got 3 buckets of dirt I got out there in the desert, and we'll see if there's any gold in them. And then, you know, I did go down just out in the backyard here. Down block or so in the back, and got a bucket of dirt, and I ran it, and there was a little flick of gold in there.
Really?
There was. So, but if you look at the ground around here, it's all like decomposed granites, and it's kind of reddish. It's not like dirt. So, you know, all that stuff came from the hills and kind of washed down. So that's kind of where I got some dirt at today, is that same type of material.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if there's any gold in it. I got the air on. It's kind of cold. I'm going to shut the air down. Cheers, everybody. Should we find another one of your famous sayings?
Oh, one of my famous sayings?
Well, you know, you talked about different things. Oh, you talked about Stanton. Here's Stanton.
Stanton got its name from Charles P. Stanton. It was originally called Antelope Station. And the reason it was called Antelope Station is that renowned trapper and explorer Pauline Weaver shot 3 antelopes here, and they named it Antelope Creek. Charles Stanton was the son of an Irish lord who went to school in England to study for the priesthood. He was expelled from the school, some say for reasons of immorality, others say because he was taking money from the school coffers. Whatever, he was expelled and he came to the United States in 1864. He became a naturalized citizen in 1872. But in 1871, he ended up in Arizona. He headed toward the Vulture Mine, which was owned by Henry Wickenburg. And Stanton is really not too far from Wickenburg. Anyway, at that time in 1871, the Vulture Mine was petering out and the property was acquired by Sexton White. Sexton White hired Charles Stanton as an assayer. And at the time that he was working at the Vulture Mine, he came across a prospector by the name of Dennis May. Dennis May owned a mine called the Congress Mine, and he also owned a gold claim on the west side of Rich Hill.
Oh, okay. I guess that's that.
Oh, there's more to that story.
Well, I guess that's all you can have.
That's all for today. Tune in again next week.
Well, I guess you can only have so much on in these things. You're only allowed
Oh, well.
Craig
If
says
anybody
that was
wants to know what happened with Charles Stanton and Dennis May, just let me know and I'll tell you.
yeah. So that was a pump cluster on your recent video. Oh, was that when I had a problem trying to get my stupid pump to work? Yes, that was. Happy wife, happy life. That's what they say. uh,
Good. I'm tired.
well, I was just going to say something too, and I forgot what I was just going to say.
I don't know.
Uh, oh, I was going to say that a long, long time ago. Do you remember? This was clear back when they had the Outdoor Channel, and we wanted to try to get a show on the Outdoor Channel, and we talked to Perry was in charge then. Perry Massey, remember that?
Uh-huh.
He did the show on the Outdoor Channel called Prospecting America, and Tom did Gold Fever. They were all our bosses when we were in Stanton. But so we talked to Perry about wanting a show on the Outdoor Channel, and we gave him some movies or DVDs that we had recorded. And I don't remember what he said, whether George Buzzard Massey, that was the dad, did on beta or whatever it was. Anyway, too high tech for us. But so they were on YouTube, and that YouTube channel was called This Old Town. And if you guys want to go look at some old videos of Lisa, we're talking how many years ago was that? 15, 20 years ago?
100 years.
100 years ago?
Uh-huh.
But so if you guys want to go look at some of them old videos,
You don't.
go to
You
YouTube.
don't.
If you type in just This Old Town, they won't come up. But if you type in like This Old Town, Lisa, or This Old Town, anyways, they'll come up. But that was the name of that channel, was This Old Town. And we did a lot of videos. We were in Utah and Arizona, and a lot of them are on that channel there. But so if you guys want to see something funny, see what Lisa looked like 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Excuse me?
If you just want to see what you look like then.
No, there was something. If you want to see something funny, see what Lisa looked like 25 years ago.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I just meant that in a good way.
She was skinny then.
You were skinny then?
She was skinny then, and she didn't wear glasses. Yeah.
Well, I think we were both skinny back in them days.
But you weren't in those videos.
We did one. I did one at the Vulture Mine.
That.
And you filmed that. And then I did one at Goldfield. I don't know if those are on that or not. They might be on that too.
That's a picture you had posted somewhere in that Goldfield shirt that you were in. Where
I know, but we did the video. We did that video there.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, anyways, yeah, go look at those videos, you guys.
Don't. No, don't. You don't have to. It's really not necessary. No.
I told Lisa that we need to go do that again.
No, we don't.
Start them again.
No, we don't.
And so everybody will say, yes, you guys, those were excellent videos, and you guys need to do them again.
No.
Guy, that hole is getting deep. I know it. I'm drowning myself. So, yeah. So, anyways, I went on Metal Detect and found me some little noogies today. So I'm adding them to my collection. Once I get too much gold, I got to give it away. We may have to do a will. Like, we probably could do a will, in maybe July, maybe?
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah.
You'll be here to help ship.
Wrong. No.
Oh.
No. I packed enough boxes, thank you. I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, that's why I say July.
Yeah, no.
Maybe we'll do that in July. I've got some prizes and collection, and I'll have a lot of gold to give away by then. So maybe we'll do a will in July.
There's a lot of changes.
We'll talk about that. Whatever happened to the videos that you gave to Perry? He looked at them, and he gave them back to us, though. But we only gave him a couple of them, 2 or 3. I know he talked about, like, you needed, I think it was 13 or something because that's what they call the season or something.
Tom liked them. Brandon loved them.
Yeah. Brandon was the one that took over or owns the stuff all now.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, Brandon loved you too.
he did.
That's why he loved him. But
Yeah,
but so
he
I know
did.
that they talked about you got to have so many for the season. I think it was 13. They called it in the can or something. You had to have 13, and then they had to be. You have to have the commercials, in not the commercials in there, but you have to have your breaks. They have to be so long. There was a lot to, doing that for TV that it was above us.
Yeah.
There was some fun. Remember, we were down in Antelope Creek where we did that one about where you were reading the book.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
That might be on this old town too. That might be in there.
I don't remember if it was or not. That was what's his name did
Yeah,
that.
Tom filmed us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we used to do a lot of filming. So if everybody goes looks at them videos and then next week say that you want to see Lisa do them again and do some more. So we'll start them back up again because that's what I told her. She needs to do those again. That Lisa needs to start a YouTube channel. And
No, she does not.
hold on. I think I'm sinking. Oh, that's too low. Oops, dang! I really messed up.
This is professional.
Yeah, I got to be careful because this is a touch screen computer. So when I touch it, it does weird stuff.
Mm.
So I got to be careful. I don't have any commercials to play. The only thing I have to do is do more.
I packed in my job and I made up my mind to spend my life looking for gold. That old gold bug really bit me good, and I'm doing so, I've been told.
What's the song everybody can relate to, huh?
Up the old yin yang, a gold ridge and a four-wheel drive. I'd be better if you shot me, 'cause gold fever's really got me, and I'm hooked as long as I'm alive.
So, anyways, remember
Yeah.
when we first started the Gold Fever, the name Gold Fever, we came up with that song, Gold Fever Radio, and then you contacted that guy that wrote that.
I did.
Produced that, and actually, I thought that was right here.
Cyril May, yep. I did. And at that time, he was pretty old.
Where was that at? I had, it's right here. And there's the original right there.
Yeah. Yeah, he wrote that song.
Cassette tape.
Yep.
An original.
Yeah, it's a collector's item now.
It is. That's probably
Yeah.
worth lots
And
of
then
money.
when we were at Stanton, when we were caretakers at Stanton and we did the outings, we would play that song. We'd play a couple of songs to wake everybody up, and then we'd play that song, and then everybody knew that the morning meeting was starting. And then when Kevin became our boss, Kevin hated that song, and he would say, I don't like that song.
Yeah, because he didn't like Tom. Anyways, but so you contacted him and got permission for us to use that song.
Correct.
And then when we started the podcast, we started using, that's how we opened the show, is playing that music. Craig says you got 121 subscribers. Craig must have found it. Videos posted 8 and 9 years ago. Oh, so Craig went and found them.
Great,
Found
Craig. Thanks.
Down 4027. There are 9 videos out there. But so then we started the podcast, and it was kind of designed as to kind of be informative with all the camps, the gold camps, and then we went to Brandon and we talked to Brandon about funding it. And he's like, oh, I don't think it'll go anywhere and blah, blah, blah. And so he didn't do nothing. Well, here it is 8 years later, and I bet you he probably says, man, I should have got involved with that.
Yeah,
Craig says
maybe.
Lisa is famous. Woohoo!
Yes, I am. Would you like my autograph?
Yes. We'll have them. We'll have your pictures and autographs available for next week.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. See, so that's what's funny, Paul. So yeah, I see that 29 watching. I don't understand why. See, if I do a YouTube live, for some reason there's a lot of people watching, but doing this through this program I use is called StreamYard, and using StreamYard that does the broadcasting that hooks into YouTube and Facebook, it doesn't get as many views, and I don't understand why that is. So I was wondering if we couldn't maybe just go live just on YouTube, but then I don't know if we would get the format where you get everybody's, the comments and all of that. I don't know if YouTube is set up like that where you can have, the split screens and
But yet you'll go back in and you'll see that you had, like 200 listeners, not 29.
well, that's just how many people's in the chat or right here. Yes, afterwards, when it's all said and done, because there's a lot of what we used to call spies or people that just kind of listen, but they're not logged or they're not in whatever they call that, not in the chat room or they didn't log in. And so afterwards, when I go into analytics, I can see that it may have been like 79 or 120 or whatever people actually. That doesn't mean that they watched the whole thing. It just means they were there, whether they were there for 30 seconds or, the whole thing. You can't see
And
that.
you can see
Just
where
like,
they listened from, too.
huh?
You can see where they listened from, too.
You can see if they're male, female, how they listened on. Mike Bush says, I'm a bot. Yeah. So anyway, so I thought about just doing live, just going directly on YouTube. So that's a thought that one day we may try that anyways, but cheers. So I did get some nuggies today.
Yeah, you said that 2 or 3 times already.
Well, hey, so I went out there today and I dug trash, and I get clear down the wash, and then I get a piece of gold, and I say, "Oh crap, I don't have my bottle." So I had to walk all the way back to the truck to get my bottle to put my little piece of gold in. And then I found another little one and another little dinky one. So yeah. Anyways, Desert Prospector. Hey, everyone must have got off work. Anything happening with ICMJ? There was some possibilities with ICMJ. No, Lisa's not home yet. Lisa starts her journey tomorrow home. She'll be here next week. The ICMJ, I think there was some stuff in the works, but it was kind of secretive right now. So we'll see what happens in time. But hopefully there's some stuff, some good positive stuff with that there. So we'll see what happens. So, but yeah. Desert Prospector says, be safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, she'll be like me. She'll just drive 3 hours a day. Maybe 5. Huh?
Now, who knows?
Well, see, I worry about Lisa driving.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
I can't tell that story.
No.
Everybody's heard that story already.
They don't need to hear it again then. Please don't go there. Because I'll call those movers and cancel it. Don't go there.
Fine. Thought ICMJ was looking at all digital. They were talking about just maybe doing something on just digital yeah. And then there's talks of maybe somebody taking it over or something. So there's some stuff in the works, but That's the last I heard of anything. That's been a while ago. So, all right, I won't say anything then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Uh, I'll tell you what I will do. Hold on, I got to go do something here. Let me see here. Uh, just because you told me that there. Just because you told me that. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to go, let's see here. Let's see. Huh. Wonder what happened. I'm looking for something here. I'm looking for something very special here. You can talk a minute, Lisa, while I'm looking here.
I'm wondering what you're looking for.
Something special.
You better be good.
I'm always good.
Yeah, you better be good.
I'm always good.
Yeah. You know about karma, so you better be good.
I'm always good.
Mhm.
Huh.
One time, while he's looking, one time we did a gold show in Vegas, and we took Tony. Tony sat at the booth with me in Vegas because those were the days when you worked the booth by yourself and I was working like an offshoot of the GPAA booth. Remember that?
I do, yes.
So Tony came with me and Tony was sitting on the table and Tony would talk to people and but on the way to Vegas, Tony sat in the back of the car with Holly. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, because Tony and Holly were about the same size.
Sing a Gold Fever song.
Okay.
Well, I
Gold
knew you were doing that.
fever.
I knew
I
you were
got
doing
it
that.
so
You'll
bad.
stop that right now,
Gold
please.
fever. It's driving me mad. Big nuggets. I know they're out
I wrote
there.
that song myself,
Keep searching about everywhere. Some play in water, some play in the dirt. I dig and dig till my muscles hurt. Big nuggets is what I look for. Keep on digging. I want more and more. Gold fever. I got it so bad. Gold fever. It's driving me mad.
Great song.
Wasn't it?
Was. Wrote it myself.
Did you ever have Chris Ralph on as a guest? Yeah, Chris Ralph was a guest when we were just podcasting. And I've reached out to him, but I never heard back from him. Yeah, to get in more trouble. ICMJ had a good magazine. They did have a good magazine, and it was too bad that they went under because I was just getting on a roll. Everybody was telling me to write articles, so I finally started writing articles for them. I think I did 3, and then I started doing a whole pile of them, and then they went bye-bye. So I still got a whole pile of articles still I could put in there. Cheers. Anyway, so that's all was happening. So we got to get out, did some detecting today, found some nuggets, got some buckets of dirt that I'll probably put through a dry washer. I'll have to do that. So yeah. So if you're a subscriber to the channel, Gold Fever, everything that we have is Gold Fever. We got the YouTube channel is Gold Fever Adventures. Facebook is Gold Fever Adventures. If you're not one of the people on my Facebook page, you can, because I post a lot on Facebook too. Personal page, Jack Tucker, Gold Fever Adventures, Facebook, goldfeveradventures.com. Yeah. We will pray for safe trip for Lisa. All right.
Thank you.
Lisa says thank you.
Yeah.
I got my other hat for I don't have that video. I don't have that video. That was funny. I'll have to find that video to post that video one day. Remember I have that with the peace sign. The hat.
That July 4th hat.
Yeah. So July 4th, I'll be all decked out, pants and all. You know, I remember, I don't know why, I've kind of always just liked the flags, the red, white, and blue type thing. But I remember when I was like 12 years old, I think, and mother took us to get new shoes, and I got a pair of shoes that they were red, white, and blue with the flags on them, like, and people said they were like golf shoes or something, but I actually had a pair of shoes like that.
Those last boots that you bought have
I
the
thought,
buttons on them.
yeah, but guys can't wear pants on the inside, which doesn't make any sense. You get a pair of boots that has that, but then you put your pants over them, so you cover them up.
Yeah.
Women put their pants on the inside of boots, but guys wear them on the outside. But I do have a pair of boots that has a flag on them. I got that jacket that kind of has a flag on it too.
Which jacket?
The jacket I didn't really care for.
Oh.
But anyway, so I do have that there. So has anybody got any questions on our way out the door, or we're getting ready to head out the door? Well, at least you don't have to go to work tomorrow. So, but I know you're going to get a good night's sleep because you're going to have to start your journey tomorrow. And I'll be navigating for you to help you along your
personal GPS.
Yeah, I'll be your personal GPS.
Well, if there's maybe there's somebody in states along the way that would invite me to dinner.
Yeah, you'll never make it back then. Yeah. After everybody watches your videos, they're all going to invite you to dinner.
Oh, yeah, they sure will. Lining up.
They will be, too.
Lining up.
Do you think leaving my Manicore in the truck could have caused it act up with that speaker? Hasn't been that hot out, though. It wouldn't be the heat that would have done anything. If anything, it would have been the bouncing. Like if it bounced and maybe a screw came loose or did something to it. I would check, if you looked in all your settings to turn your volume up or something like that. I would try factory reset, and then I would also re-download the firmware on that. Try both of those first just to see if something happened. Desert Prospector, I was subscribed to the digital only version the last few years. It worked well. Drive safe, Lisa, and don't push it.
Thank you.
Here. Stop while passing through Missouri. We will buy you dinner. Oh, now speaking of Missouri, I was going, can I tell the story?
No, you cannot.
That was in Missouri.
It was in Missouri, and no, you cannot.
It was by St. Louis, I believe.
I said no, you cannot.
All
and
right.
don't. I'm unpacking these boxes right now.
All right, I can't tell the story then.
No.
I'll have to tell you the story when Lisa's here then.
No, you won't tell the story at all, ever.
Okay. I did 4 factory resets. It's definitely defective. It's on its way back. I already talked to my lab. Okay. Missouri, the show me state. That's right. Carl Baker said Missouri here. Oh, you're in Missouri too. I came close to being born in Missouri. That's where my father lived, and all his side of the family came from Missouri. And then I remember we left Missouri to go to, I believe it was Salt Lake, and that's where I was born at. But
do you remember what town your
Yep.
dad's people were from?
The town was called Herculaneum.
That is correct. You're so
And
smart.
we stopped there on our journey back and saw my
We
aunt.
did too.
And didn't we
Yeah,
go see my dad's grave too? Didn't we
we
go
did.
there?
We
Yeah,
did.
did that. We found it, and yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Let's see. Paul says it's the speaker on the detector itself, and then my headset, the factory headphones, wouldn't turn on or charge, but I was able to do the update on them, but still they won't work, so I sent back. Uh, yeah, anyways, good old Mind Lab. So that's what's happening. Okay, so next week we'll be right here. Maybe
With
you'll be
special
right here,
guest.
huh?
With a special guest.
With my special guest next week.
Mm-mm-mm.
And maybe I'll download the full show of one of the This Old Town shows, and we'll play that next week.
No, nobody wants to
Watch
see
out
that.
for Momo in Missouri,
What?
Panama
What?
Prospector. Momo in Missouri. What's Momo?
I don't know.
I don't know. In Missouri, a lot of people are from Missouri, east of the Mississippi River. Yeah. Anyways, all right. That's all we got, I guess, then. Lisa's got to get a good night's sleep for her journey tomorrow. So that's what's happening. Let me go find an outro song.
Okie dokie.
All of my songs are. Where's my CD at?
I don't know. With your A1 band?
Right there. My A1 band. It's got a bunch of gold songs on it. Oh, do you like that picture?
Ugh. That shirt.
They're speaking of Tom and Perry. There's Tom and Perry right there. The whole family.
Yeah, look how young we were.
I know. There's Wilma. That was Buzzard's wife. Buzzard's not in that picture.
Tom and Perry's mommy.
Yeah, that's Perry's mommy, Wilma. We were young, weren't we?
Yeah, your mommy's in that picture too.
My mommy is in that picture. Oh, there's another A1 band. Those are available on the website.
Jack Tucker and his A1 band.
Jack Tucker and his I may be coming out with the volume 2. I was going through pictures. Look at some of these pictures. Look at this old picture. Now this is Italian bar.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
Huh?
Good Lord.
Don't I look like a dork?
Yes. That had to be when you first joined GPAA.
Yeah.
Well, that's Tom Perry and Wilma.
And
that's the play.
yeah.
That's Perry as Charles Stanton.
Oh, remember this guy? This is how this all started. Oh, I went blurry. Remember who that is?
I can't see that. Is that Gary?
Yeah. I went blurry. I put myself too close.
Yeah. When we were first LDMA members and we went, at the outings, there was this guy, I don't remember Gary's last name though.
Faust.
Okay, so Gary Faust, they would come and do the outings. That's what they used to do till we became caretakers and we took over the outings because we are party people. But that's what they used to do. They used to have, even Mike and Kathy used to come to do the outings. They always had people to do the outings up until us. And then we went ahead and we did outings for everybody else. But when I first saw this outing and I saw this guy, Gary, up on the stage at the Opera House, I said to Jack, that could be you.
And holy behold, one day it was.
Holy behold, it was. Oh, that's you and Wilma.
Yeah. Now here's an old picture too. There's me and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Playing in the creek. Now look at this picture. I look like I'm scared to death. with Tom.
Uh,
and
there's a
Lisa.
picture. Did you take that picture of me and Tom?
No, you told me not to. You told me.
All
Lisa.
right, so there's a picture of me and Tom. We had it hanging up in the campground. I come up to his belly button.
Yeah. Don't say dork. There's only one dork on the fork. A dork on the fork. Oh, I miss Buku. Yeah. Buku was uh okay, let me hold on a second here. Let me okay, hold on. Hold on here. I gotta go do something now. Hold on. Hold on here. Hold on here.
Who's holding on to now?
I don't know. Hold on a second here. Uh, that reminded me of something. Uh, if I can find, if I can find, I may not be able to find uh, the. I am looking. You can talk there, Lisa, while I'm looking here.
I don't know what you're looking for.
Well, you can talk while I'm looking for something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we had a long and varied career in the gold biz. Yeah.
So we were in Stanton, I think, 6 years,
Yes.
and then we.
Then we did another 2.5 years as the outings coordinator people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were for LDMA about 8.5 years. It was a long time.
It was. And we and then we had the gold store, and we were there for what, about 6 years, and then we sold it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then somebody had the brilliant idea of getting a campground.
Yeah. Well, when we left the LDMA, we thought, we needed our own campground.
Well,
And
no, we waited a while before we left the LDMA.
well, didn't happen immediately, but
Yeah, we didn't think we needed a campground. That's not correct.
okay, here's something right here. This is for you, Craig.
You get questions when you drive down the road what that stuff is?
It draws attention when you hit the Walmart parking lot. People have never seen one, want to know what it is.
Well, I'm in the sewer business, and I gotta clean out the sump pump.
Scuba dive for Rotorooter.
Well, this hole over here looks kind of interesting, and I guess this is where you want to go.
That's full of all kind of stuff.
And it's right off the highway here.
Well, we don't talk about that.
Well, that's kind of interesting, You look around, and a lot of times when I'm driving down the highway, and I see a lot of really good spots. So we'll poke around in here and see what we can find.
I think we'll find something, by golly.
That was Buku. There's your Buku right there.
Did he say something about being in the Walmart parking lot?
Yeah, well, that they had the big shitter truck, and going around sucking up. Yeah, blueberry. That was the blueberry bounce. Don't say. Let's see. Buku actually came to one of Forrest Finn's annual Fin Bowl in New Mexico. That's the last time I saw him, wearing his customary red hat. Is Tom and GPA still got camps in Alaska? Tom kept to my understanding, Tom kept the Alaska, but never done nothing with it, and it just went to hell. The buildings are all torn down and that. The funny thing was, when we were in Stanton, and I had some $20. Now imagine this, how long ago this was. I had $20 gold coins, and they were in those what do they call them? Where they're sealed in the thing where they stamp them and tell the value, whatever, I forget what they call that thing. Anyways, I had 3 of them in this sealed, and then I had one loose by itself. And we were in Stanton, and I sold all 3 of those ones for $500 a piece. So imagine what gold was back then. We're talking, what, 20, 25 years ago or more. I think gold was only probably, I don't know, maybe $180 an ounce or $200 an ounce. But I sold those $20 gold coins for $500. And then boot graded. Yeah, they were in that graded thing, certified graded. And then I had one loose one, and Buku wanted it. And he kept saying, well, it's not graded, so I don't want to give $500 because it's not one of them graded ones that you were selling. So I ended up selling it to him for $450. I wished I had those $20 gold coins back today.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, man. But anyways, that was a while ago. That was a while ago. So, yeah, we have been involved with the gold business for quite some time.
Uh-huh.
I think we started about 1993, I think it was.
No.
No?
No. No.
94?
No.
92?
No.
Well, it was someplace early 90s.
It was 95.
It couldn't have been 95.
It was 95.
Well, how come my gold thing says 94? No, it was 94 because Buzzard died December of 93.
It wasn't 94 because we got married in 94.
I know it. And we were watching because
yeah, we were watching, but you didn't start gold until 95.
Oh, okay. Well, we started watching the Gold Fever then in 94.
Yeah.
Because that's when Tom came on and said he had bad news that Buzzard
right.
had died.
Right.
Because he died. And then you used to always say Tom looked like a wrestler guy before we really knew who he was and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. So we started watching 94, but we end up, okay. Anyways, let me go find an outro song out of this while we can. Find one of my one of my AI songs. Okay, how about Arizona Jack? All right, everybody, we want to thank you guys hanging with us another week and putting up with all of our BS and all that stuff. But we appreciate all of you guys, just allowing us to yak and be a part of it all. It's special times, and that's why we keep doing it, is because of you guys. So you guys all take care. Have a fantastic week. Enjoy your guys yourself. Be safe out there. Till our paths cross again. Be safe. Talk to you guys all later. See y'all. Bye.
Jack's got a shovel and a dream in his hands, staking claims neath the hot desert sand, chasing the glimmer of gold in the sun. Every hill climbed, it's a battle, but he's won. With friends beside him, he's never alone. Through valleys and mountains, they've made it their home. Treasure comes in the memories we make, in the laughter and stories our friendships create. Gold might be pretty, but it's nothing compared to the joy in the journey, the love that we share. They ride the ATV through the wide open plains, laughing and shouting, forgetting the pains. The wind on their faces, a taste of pure freedom. In the heart of Arizona, they know they'll beat them. Life's a wild ride, they shout out so bold. Jack says you never slow down, you never grow old. Treasure comes in the memories we make, in the laughter and stories our friendships create. Gold might be pretty, but it's nothing compared to the joy in the journey, the love that we share. Life's So they'll ride, they shout out so bold. Jack says you never slow down, you never grow old. Treasure comes in the memories we make, in the laughter and stories our friendships create. Gold might be pretty, but it's nothing compared to the joy in the journey, the love that we share. So here's to the gold in the lives that we hold. Jack's got his friends, and that's worth more than gold.